Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is...
Je suis Jean-Louis Filion.
And we are here with HABSOLUTELY, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, in the studios of 4680Q Radio. Fantastic week for the Habs. I just love the things that are going on.
Fantastic weather.
Fantastic weather. Yeah, we've had some deadly weather here. But you know, when we talk about the Habs, and this has got to be making you really happy, John, because you're the guy about camaraderie and culture and how they're building a culture. And what did we see this week?
A wedding.
We saw a wedding.
A wedding party.
And I'm going to tell you, you saw guys coming in like Jake Allen and Tyler Toffoli to Nick Suzuki's wedding. And they're all gassed up, dancing around and singing. I mean, this is a team. These guys aren't just playing hockey. They're best friends.
Well, it's like when you work together, sometimes you build real friendships and camaraderie, and that becomes your social life as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're seeing with the Habs.
And I really like that. You got guys like Tyler Toffoli or whatever his name is.
Tyler Toffoli.
Yeah, yep. And Jake Allen coming because, you know, they were a part of the team for a long time with these guys. And they enjoyed being with Montreal. And when they moved, they moved. That's the business of hockey. But at the end of the day, they're right back there, not missing a beat with this team. If they could put on these skates and get out there with them this year during the season, they would. They'd love to be with these guys again. And I really, really like that. Not to mention Slav and all the other guys together having a good time,
well,
right?
I mean, you know, and we're seeing that in the fact that, you know, somebody becomes like goes to arbitration and signs back with the team.
There you go.
So that's another indicator of the strength of this team, you know, and the fact that the owner shows up at the party.
That is fantastic. When I saw them holding a bottle of Molson, that was great.
That says a lot too.
Oh, I mean, free booze.
When you're cool with the owner coming in, then, you know, like generally, you know, you work somewhere and you're like, oh, here comes the boss.
Yeah.
You know, hide, basically. Don't tell him what we're doing. You know, like, grief, right?
When he's dropping off a truckload of beer for the wedding.
And this guy's coming in and he's partying up.
Yeah, and that's so good to see.
And they're so happy that he's there. He's an invited guest.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And we're going to talk about another special relationship later on in the show. So you got to stay tuned for that.
Yeah, perfect. And like I said, the wedding was fabulous. I mean, like, you know, Montreal, what a place to be as well. And I think that also has something to do with that culture. Yeah. I mean, like this week, they have the Osheaga Festival, you know, which is amazing. The Killers are going to play there. Olivia Rodrigo headlines on Sunday night. You know, we have our Cicada Festival that I'm wearing that happens down here in Port Dalhousie in October. But the Killers, in fact, too, the Killers will be in Niagara Falls actually on Sunday night as well. So they're in Montreal Friday. They're here on Sunday. I mean, there's some synergy going on there. A buddy of mine sent me a text last week about Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel posted on his site how it was amazing that right around this time of the year, his song Sledgehammer was #1 on the Billboard charts in 1986, knocking out Genesis.
Oh, wow, that's ironic.
On Saturday night in Montreal, during the wedding, they were playing Sledgehammer. I love it, you know?
Yeah.
Like these guys, they're right into everything. Like the synergy is all there. There's so many good vibes going on in Montreal.
Is there a better place to be in the NHL right now than the Montreal Canadiens? Is there a better team to be on?
I don't think, I mean, like if you're the Florida Panthers, you won 2 Stanley Cups, not such a bad place to be. But, and there's no tax in Florida. But at the same point, and the weather's pretty good too. But at the same point, as far as hockey goes, there's no better place to be.
There's no better place to be right now. So we had a ton of viewer comments on our last show. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, thank you so much. We love the comments. A couple of new commenters on there. And also, don't forget, if you're watching the video, because only about 40 or 50% of the people who watch the video subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. It helps to get the video out there. You're helping us out. It costs nothing. Subscribe, hit the notification button, do the whole works. It costs nothing, but it gets the algorithm and gets our show out there more. So you're helping us out.
And share it with fellow HAB fans. Absolutely. And as well, we love the comments.
Yeah, and
they stimulate us. They make us think.
These two old guys like that.
Yeah, I like to hear what other people think. I like their perspectives.
Well, let me read you these comments then.
Great.
Okay, at VDAC1068. Kadri would be a perfect 2 to 3 year stopgap for Hage, waiting for Hage. Stanley Cup winner, role player, power play to second power play center, second power play, penalty kill, an absolute rat, POS. You know what that means? Piece of
shite.
Rat in playoffs. Closest thing to Sam Bennett out there, and exactly a missing puzzle piece if the team wants to do anything else but just participate in the playoffs. Crosby, same thing, but brings more skill than grit. Kadri brings both. To say you would be okay with Crosby at 38, but not okay with Kadri at 35 is just silly. And you know what? I have no problem with Kadri on the team for the next few years.
Nelson Kadri is a great player, no doubt about it. But he will make an impact on a team that's top 4, top 6 right now. And I don't think we're there yet. I really don't.
Okay, well, that's a fair assessment.
That's the only reticence I would have with bringing on Nelson Kadri, because I don't think we're there yet. And at the same point, Nelson Kadri is going to take up a position on the team as far as man hours, playing hours, and we need to keep that development phase going and giving certain players more hours for their growth when we get ready to make that Stanley Cup run.
Yeah, especially when we have players like Bolduc and Doc and these guys who we're trying to create that second line center in what we have rather than going out and getting one. We won't know until the season starts and there's a few games under our belt how these players are going to wash out. So it becomes a question of, do we want to get something that is proven, or do we want to develop our own players? And John, you're right. We're still in a development stage here. You've said it many times. Yeah. And so maybe it does make more sense to forget about that and just develop what we got.
I think like Kirby Doc is a guy that if he grows into being our player, the more NHL games he can play over the next 2 or 3 years are going to be so valuable 5-6 years from now when we're making that run.
Yeah, and Nicholas Hage. Is his first name Nicholas? I was thinking of Nicholas Cage. Whatever his first name is, Hage.
Michael Hage.
Michael Hage, yeah. Okay. Not Nicholas Cage. Not to be confused with.
That's the way to put it.
But, yeah, they're saying he's like, at least 2 or 3 years away from even having a shot at Montreal. Maybe 4, because he's going to play a couple more years in college.
He's still in school.
Yeah, and then he's got to come over. He's going to probably spend a year in Laval. At least
he's
part of a year.
He's 20 years old.
Yeah, so
25. When he's 25, he should be like hitting the big stride.
So that's like 3 or 4 or 5 years away.
That's 5 years away.
So it's nice to think of him. He won't be around right away, though. Okay, at Reno Burgoyne, 8829. He's a repeat offender. He commented last time, but welcome, Reno. Welcome. We love you. Guys, come on. McDavid has 1 year only left on his deal. Now, I asked if he thought McDavid would come over. Oh, okay. So that's what he said. And I asked somewhere in the question, do you think, well, in the question thread, I asked the guy if he thought McDavid would come over. And at VDAC 1068, the commenter before said, why to F over Suzuki at first center and take puck time away from Demidov? $14 million per season makes no sense to me that he would be a fit. The team needs grit. We have the skill and Hage coming. So he's saying, forget about McDavid. When I asked, do you think he would come over? So people are thinking, He's got 1 year left in his deal. Maybe he'll come over. That's what Reno's talking about. What do you think?
I think the money is stupid, you know? So these guys are making a great point. Number two, we've got like Demidov, Slavkovsky, Suzuki. Those are our big stars, basically. Caulfield, he's right there as well. It remains to be seen who, and then you have Hudson and Dobson. I mean, that's like an all-star team.
Yeah, really.
It could very well be an all-star team. So all these guys have to, we have to maintain them being happy. They need time on the ice to produce for them to be effective. So I think we have to wait. It's like I don't see Connor McDavid in the plan. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, me neither. I just don't think that would happen. He's going to go somewhere, but it probably won't be the Habs. At Reno Burgoyne, 8829 again. Scotty won 4 cups in a row, and Toe Blake won 5 in a row. And we were talking about the coach that won the Jack Adams for Montreal in 1971, I think. That was the trivia question. And it was...
was it 77 he won?
Was it 77? I can't remember.
It was when they...
Oh, no. It was 77.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was Scotty Bowman was the right answer. And we had a bunch of choices. So Reno's just giving us some stats. I love it because he's paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, we love Toe Blake. Those 5 Stanley Cups in the 50s.
Yeah.
The best. And as I recall, Jacques Plante, he won 6 Vezina trophies in a row.
Unbelievable. What a team. At Whiskey Lung, Whiskey Lung's commented before, Crosby goes where he wants to go. He says he doesn't want to go anywhere. That says to me that once he starts breaking down, in other words, he's not playing very well, he'll move. He might want to see a new class in Pittsburgh develop and help them out and set the Pens on a good path. This could be the end of the book for his legacy in Pittsburgh.
Well, again, it totally depends, too, on there's so many variables. I mean, at the end of Michael Jordan's career with the Bulls, he had always been lowballed and signed lengthy contracts. So the last 2 or 3 years, he signed 1-year deals with the Bulls, and he was like cashing out at like $20 million a season, that type of thing. So he was making big time money then. I can see the same thing could happen possibly for Crosby if they want to pay him some money. But other than that, I think Crosby will definitely be, he will stick with Pittsburgh. And then the only other thing that'll happen is a team like a Florida Panthers, if they were deciding to make a real heavy run for like a 3rd Stanley Cup, they might try to grab him just like they did some guy who was playing for the Bruins.
Yeah, there you go. I don't see him moving. Like you say, it would have to be an extenuating circumstance like that, something like that. But he's just Mr. Pittsburgh. I don't see him leaving.
Mario Lemieux brought, Sidney Crosby to the NHL. And, I guess Mario still has involvement in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. He's
right?
still part of the team.
I'm sure Mario would like to see, from a legacy standpoint, Sidney Crosby retire as a Pittsburgh Penguin.
Oh, sure. I would say so. I mean, there's not many players that retire on the team they started with these days. We see
it's rare nowadays.
It's rare. So I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, he don't need the money. So now it's just about playing. And if he can help the young kids there, why would he move?
Absolutely.
At Habs for Life 41, when you tell that story about Dennis Savard, last week you were telling the story about Dennis Savard, I've had that same thought about McKinnon in Montreal for years.
That's a very good point.
Wouldn't it be wonderful to have him? To have him. I would love to have him.
I mean, that would be an amazing scenario.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know if it's going to ever happen, but it's a great scenario.
I mean, it's great to dream like that. And it's also great to even have have that stimulus that you came up with that idea. That's fabulous.
Yeah, and you know what we say about Montreal? I say this every week. A2, A2, A2. Expect
the unexpected. And that also is the throwback line to Peter Gabriel.
There you go.
That was when he launched his solo career. It was expect the unexpected.
Yeah, right.
So it all ties in.
At Vinny Hudo, our number one commenter, but he's on vacation or something. I think he's taking it easy.
Holiday. Maybe he was at the wedding.
Yeah, maybe he was at the wedding.
He might have. You could have been the DJ.
Maybe he was a wedding crasher.
He could have been the DJ.
He was with Jeff Daniels, the wedding crasher. Wasn't that the guy? Jeff Daniels. He says, "Yep, trivia was very easy. Best coach ever. I'm really anxious to see Dobson play. I'm sure he'll be the missing piece on the right side. Also, looking to see if Reinbacher will make the team out of camp. If he don't make the Habs, I'm sure he'll be a force in Laval. He's got the size and IQ to be a factor." 100% agree, Vinny. 100% agree. Really, we're stacked on D right now. We signed Struble, of course, from arbitration. We got him out of arbitration with a $1.41 million contract per year for 2 years. So Reinbacher's going to have to do some skating if he's going to make the Habs this year. He's good enough, though. I mean, let's face it, he is. So we might see him.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
Defense is a real interesting topic.
It is. Maybe we'll talk about it later in the show.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so we'll leave it for that. Okay, at Gary Cornoyer. Now, I've never had a comment from him, but
or from a Cornoyer.
Yeah, from a Cornoyer. I'm impressed. Always appreciate your Wednesday podcast about the Habs. There is no reason to think the Habs won't make the playoffs. Out of all the Atlantic teams, the Habs are the most improved. Keep up the good work and go, Habs, go. And thank you for that comment, because that's the one thing we really don't talk about. Anyway, we haven't to date, is where we stand in the pecking order of teams and what did they do or what they're going to do in the off season. I always look for the path to victory. What's our path to making the playoffs right away rather than waiting till the last day? And the moves that we have made far surpass a lot of the teams in the Atlantic Division. So that's a great point. That's a great point, Gary, that I really haven't looked at yet. It's not only about where we stand and the experience we have and that kind of thing. It's about what did the other teams do. And I think the Habs were probably one of the most active teams, and we've done a lot. So I love that point. Thank you so much for that comment.
Well, I think it would be great to actually, like you say, not wait till the last day. And actually, this year's goal would be to make the playoffs, period.
First day.
Not as a wild card team, but make the playoffs.
Yeah, first day, beating the Leafs.
That would be a really good goal. Well, again, first 10 games.
That's it.
Like having the big start.
I agree 100%. So thank you, Gary. That's an interesting angle that eventually we get to, but we haven't got to it yet. And now that you mention it, we should start looking closer at exactly what our competition did, because no matter what you do, if your competition does more, you're still in the same pecking order.
Yeah, it's like, what did the Leafs do?
Right? And I see nothing.
What did they got rid of some guy named Marner.
They got some ham bones. That's what they picked up.
What did they get from Marner? Nothing, right? Nothing. Okay.
Pizzetta.
So that's what the Leafs did. That's what the Leafs did.
So, you look at that pecking order, because it doesn't matter when you look at the standings last year and you say, okay, how are we going to move up? Well, my thing is always, listen, another year experience under our belt, 5 playoff games under our belt. So just organically, we're going to be better just from the experience and our players getting ice time on the big team. Now you add to that guys like Dobson and who's the other guy we picked up? Valeno, and we picked up another guy there.
Two other players.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they're huge.
So we've improved the team. We made it better. Oh, Bolduc, we picked up him. So we made it better. Other teams didn't do quite as good, especially the teams that we were fighting for that playoff spot, the Rangers, those kind of guys. So I don't know. I think organically we're going to be better, and I don't think we're going to be. And I said this at the end of last year. I said I don't think we're going to be fighting for a playoff spot on the last day of the season this time. We're going to be in, and I think we're going to have a tremendous start this year. I'd be disappointed if we don't. Drew Deeks, at Drew Deeks. Miss you in the studios, fellas. Always great to see John back. Your chemistry is undeniable and appreciated. See you soon. Thank you so much, Drew. We appreciate it, and we respect your show. I watch your show all the time, and coming from somebody who's been there and done it and has a lot of followers, I appreciate the positive feedback. We try our best here. We try to have a good time, and when Drew Deeks is in the studio, he adds the third dimension to this show, and we really have a laugh and a great time here. And that's what we're all about, talking about the Habs, getting some memories in there and having a good time. And I told you, the guy Mr. Jim on his show, asked him how to find the podcast for the two old guys. I'll take that as a compliment.
Absolutely.
You gotta love it. So, what's next, Sean?
Well, so the other news this week is signing Jaden Struble.
Yeah, we signed him to a 2-year contract, $1.41 million a year, off of arbitration. He didn't have to go through arbitration, which is a good thing. I like Struble. He's a solid guy back there. He can be counted on to step in and do a great job. I always liked him. I'm way better than Barron or any of those other guys. So I'm happy. I'm happy.
Struble is a great defenseman, really.
Yeah.
I mean, solid. Might not be top 6, but bottom 6. But he's NHL ready.
Yeah, he's the bottom. He's probably the third pair or something.
Yeah, exactly. He also knows he'll hit, which is another advantage. He's very seasoned, and he plays smart.
He plays smart. He's good. He's good. I like Struble.
You can trust him with the puck.
You can.
So I really think it's a good acquisition. But what does it say about our defense, and what does it mean to our defense? I mean, a lot of people right now are going, oh, well, we did lose Denny Savard. Or not Denny Savard. David Savard. He meant a lot to the team as far as what he brought to the dressing room, his experience, but as well, he also was a solid PK defenseman. Did a lot of the hard work,
sucked up a lot of minutes.
Very physical, sucked up a lot of minutes on the PK. Very physical defenseman, and used his body constantly to block that puck. Who's gonna replace David Savard?
Dobson.
And it's I kind of think it's going to be somebody other than Dobson. To be honest with you, I kind of think Savard's replacement is going to be somebody like Carrier.
Yeah, Carrier's good
is going to kind of fit into that mold of being the guy who comes out for the PK on the first PK line and having to be a little more physical as well as far as taking a few pucks.
And I think Gooley's turning into that guy as well.
And that kind of sets up like our pairings, of having Gooley and Carrier on the first two pairs as far as putting them with Dobson and Hudson.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I mean, that's some real firepower. But
and we got Matheson still.
We still have a guy named Matheson. And Matheson probably would have been first line with the Habs 2 years ago. He was first line on the D.
So it's going to be interesting to see.
Where does Matheson fit in?
Yeah, interesting.
You don't want to put Hudson and Dobson together. So I kind of see them, with two other players.
And we got Jack Eye.
I kind of see Hudson and Dobson together with maybe I would think Carrier and who was it we said? Not
Matheson?
No, not Doc.
Gooley?
Gooley. So you've got Gooley and Carrier kind of being like the more defensive defenseman, with the offensive defenseman being Hudson and Dobson. So they're really like your top four. Then you have Matheson.
Yeah, and Jack Eye.
Now, and Jack Eye and Stubel, right?
And perhaps Reinbacher.
A lot of people are thinking Reinbacher. I really kind of think Reinbacher didn't play enough hockey last year.
He didn't.
And I think he will start in the AHL.
I believe he will.
I don't know if he'll finish, though, in the AHL.
Yeah, I think you'll see him up at some point. And you got to always remember, there's going to be injuries.
There are going to be injuries.
And we're going to need this depth at D, solid D, to come up, and that's where Struble comes in. And of course, Reinbacher might get a shot. We got rid of Mayu, so.
Well, and you need Carrier to be there, and he's going to have to log PK minutes.
Yep.
So at one point, Jack-Eye is going to be fighting with Struble really for a position. I think that'll be the more interesting thing is the opening night. Who are going to be the 6 men on the ice? And who's going to be in the box?
Well, we could probably name 5 of them. It's going to be that 6th one that's going to be the question mark.
Exactly.
So Jack-Eye or Struble or Reinbacher.
Right. And I don't think Reinbacher will be in that mix. But
not at the beginning of the season, I don't think.
At the same point, with Matheson playing for Montreal, where does he fit into the big picture? Like, is he going to be with Montreal next year?
Who knows?
We believe he wants to stay in Montreal. Yeah, that's our understanding. We believe there's been conversations between him and Jeff and
Hughes
and Hughes in regards to his future with Montreal, and that they're indicating he wants to be there. He is a UFA at the end of this year.
Oh man,
So
I'm not sure about that. Is he? He could be.
His contract is up this year.
Okay, that's it then.
So we want to know. I mean, at one point we either say yes, we're keeping him. What are we going to sign him for? How long? How much? 2, are we going to trade him during the season?
Yeah, well, do we trade him or extend him anyway if they're going to keep him? Because
could he be traded like at the trade deadline?
Yeah, we don't want to lose him for nothing.
We don't. Absolutely, it's a business. It's an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
To improve our team.
So we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Matheson still is in great physical shape and can contribute offensively to the team.
Mm-hmm. I like him.
Does he step up? And I'm almost thinking, do we at one point even think about playing some games with 5 defensemen?
5 defensemen?
Some teams back in the day would play with 5 defensemen. So you're seeing a lot of ice, you're seeing a lot of rotation. So on occasions, what will happen is when you're getting like a PK and a PP, certain defensemen are stepping up into those roles. And so when the next shift comes out, a guy like a Matheson becomes the flex defenseman with the other pairing that wasn't out during the power play or the PK.
What do you do? Carry another forward?
Yes, you would.
That's original.
It's something to consider.
You have to double shift one of the other guys.
Like I say, it's like you consider that. You everybody gets pretty well almost the same ice time, but you're playing with a different combo.
Yeah, old style hockey.
Yeah, definitely. At the same point, there are some other defensemen that could come up, right?
Well, Reinbacher's one.
So Reinbacher is one, but there's a guy named he's not named OG, but there is a guy named Ingstrom, right? Adam Ingstrom, who played in Laval last year. He played a solid season at Laval. He is only 21. He's 6'2". He is 198 pounds. He's the right size. He played in Laval last year. He played 66 games. 5 goals, 22 assists, 27 points.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see him.
In the Swedish Hockey League, he played the prior year, 4 goals, 18 assists, 22 points. In the Swedish Hockey League, he was a -10. In Laval, he was a plus 14.
Yeah,
I'm not. He could contribute at one point.
It would be probably pretty dire circumstances for him to come up.
Well, what will be interesting though is what will happen in training camp.
That's what it boils down to.
So now we know Struble and Jack-Eye are going to be going at each other in training camp. What I think Struble has going for him from past history is that he's a little more diligent, a little more responsible as far as taking penalties.
He's got more experience.
Taking penalties. Jack Eye has got to get that under control. And that's difficult too because, there is bias. Referees will, get out on the ice. They'll see Jack Eye on the ice. They'll be looking at him to give him a penalty. There's bias. There's no doubt about it. So that's going against Jack Eye. But there are other. There's a lot of defensemen, like we say. We're deep with D. So other players, we'll see what happens in training camp.
Yeah, that's what it's going to come down to, like who performs and who doesn't. But I think we're pretty set on defense. So I can almost predict it now who's going to be there.
But a lot of people are, saying, "Oh, we got to, who's going to replace Savard? Who's going to replace Savard?" To me, it's going to be more. This year is going to be more about who's going to replace Mike Matheson, or are we replacing Mike Matheson?
Well, we probably aren't.
That's to me.
If he has a good season, they're going to keep him.
That to me is going to be interesting. And Mike Matheson, though, it's going to be hard him to justify what a good season is for him, because if he's playing in the last tier of D, he will not be seeing as many minutes as he has over the past couple of years. Therefore, it's hard to achieve numbers.
And we'll see. I mean, that's a question mark. We'll have to see when it comes down to training camp and what happens.
So defense is getting very interesting.
It is. That's going to be a really crazy,
but in a very positive way.
Always. We've had that, and even we got rid of Mayu, who's the guy we thought was going to be coming up for sure. So, okay, we jumped this Habs trivia. That's what you're supposed to answer, not about Struble.
Oh.
Let's get the Habs trivia.
Just like, wow.
But that was a good discussion.
Let's go to Habs trivia.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so we all know who the Pocket Rocket is.
Now
I think we all do. Drew Deeks, do you know who the Pocket Rocket is? Okay, Henry Richard, the Pocket Rocket, the Rocket's younger brother. Now, Henry didn't pull any punches.
No, he wasn't a fighter.
But he didn't pull any punches when he spoke, neither. He's a straight shooter. On and off the ice, that's how he operated. Rocket wasn't enthused with one coach and said he was the worst coach I've ever played for, which led to the coach being demoted to junior hockey. Even after this coach won the Stanley Cup with the Habs.
Toe was never in junior hockey.
So who was this worst coach that the Pocket Rocket said he had ever played for? So this is the scenario. Rocket Richard plays for the team. They win the Stanley Cup, and he calls the guy the worst coach he ever played for, and the guy was demoted to the AHL that same year. Wow. After the Cup. Who was the guy?
That's amazing.
Jean Perron?
Jean Perron.
Yep. Al McNeil?
Wait, Rocket played for him.
Bob Berry? No, not Rocket. Pocket Rocket. We're talking Pocket Rocket.
Oh, okay.
Bob Berry or Claude Ruel. So which coach did he call the worst coach he'd ever played for?
So Jean Perron.
Right. Al McNeil, Bob Berry, or Claude Ruel?
Oh, that's a really good question, eh?
That's a tough one.
I think Al McNeil, was the coach in 71.
You'd have to know when the Pocket Rocket played and won the Stanley Cup for sure.
Yeah, I think Al McNeil was a coach in 71. They did 67. They lost. They won in 68 and 69. They lost in 70, 71. So I guess it was 72, 71, 72. They won again. And I think it was Al McNeil. But of all those coaches, I got to say, I don't even know if Jean Perron won a Stanley Cup.
No, I don't know.
Al McNeil, what was the other one?
Bob Berry.
Bob Berry, I think there was a shift where two of them kind of shared the same year. I could be wrong. Claude Ruel, I think he got bounced a bit.
Did he win a Stanley Cup, Claude Ruel? I don't know.
I don't know. Gee, it's a really tough question. I mean, I want to say Jean Perron because I don't think he really did much, but I'm going to say Al McNeil.
Okay, what do you think out there?
I'm going to say Al McNeil because he's
Who was it? Jean Perron, Al McNeil, Bob Berry, Claude Ruel. Who did the Pocket Rocket say he was the worst coach I ever played for? And the correct answer is Al McNeil. You got it, John. Now, McNeil was the coach for the Habs for only 1 year, 1970-71 season, and did win the Stanley Cup with the Habs that year. Right now, Al McNeil was an interesting character.
I knew he was a character.
He played 524 games in the NHL, so he played in the NHL, was a 4-time Stanley Cup winner. He won 3 Calder Cups coaching there, one in 1972, just after winning the Stanley Cup with the Habs in 1971. Now, Claude Ruel had resigned. This is you're talking about sharing a season, 23 games into the 70-71 season, and McNeil took over on December 3rd, 1970, after having a disastrous start to the season.
Was Claude sick, or I can't remember?
I think they had a bad start, and they fired him and brought in Al McNeil.
Okay.
Now, the Habs looked like they were going to miss the playoffs for the second year in a row. After McNeil took over, Sammy Pollock swung a major trade in January 1971. And who did he trade for?
Mahavlich?
That's right. He traded for the Big M, Frank Mahavlich, and rallied in the new year to end up 3rd seed in their division, making the playoffs. They stunned the Boston Bruins, heavily favored Bruins, in the first round, and went on to make the Stanley Cup Finals and took out the Chicago Blackhawks in 7 to win the Cup.
That was Ken Dryden.
And yes, and guess who scored the tying and winning goals in Game 7 after being chastised and benched, sitting on the bench by Al McNeil.
The Pocket Rocket.
The Pocket Rocket. He scored this tying and winning goal in that Game 7, and he was mad at Al McNeil because he sat him on the bench.
But at the same point, he came back and was the hero.
That's right. Crucial to this Cup win was McNeil's decision to go with a rookie goaltender in the playoffs. That goaltender?
Ken Dryden.
Another decision McNeil made to have a rookie named Ray-Jean Houle shadow a prolific scorer on the Blackhawks named
Bobby Hull.
Bobby Hull.
Bobby Hull.
Whom Houle held to only 1 even-strength goal in the series.
Beautiful.
A rookie.
Ray-Jean Houle. I mean, we went and saw Ray-Jean Houle play with Montreal Junior Canadiens here in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember the Montreal Junior Canadiens, they beat the Niagara Falls Flyers like 11-1. Wayne Wood was in goal for the Montreal Canadiens. And there was another guy on that team named Gilbert Perreault.
Yes.
But you didn't even know Perreault was out there because I think Houle scored 5 or 6 goals that night.
Yeah, Ray-Jean Houle was something. And he is allegedly my cousin.
No.
Yeah, my grandmother's maiden name was Houle.
Really?
So, yeah, he might have even been at my house when they were kids because we had a lot of people coming into my house, staying in Niagara Falls when they came to Niagara Falls, and they always brought their kids. And
that is so wild.
And he could have been one of them. So, I don't know. I can't remember.
I think Ray-Jean played in Thetford Mines. And my cousin, Maurice Grouleau, lived in Sacré-Cœur-de-Marie. And when he was in Montreal, he was hanging out with Houle and Perreault and Tardif. They were great friends.
Yeah, I've never met him.
Gilbert Perreault actually was the godfather to my cousin's son. And so when my cousin passed away, Houle, Tardif, and Perreault all came to the funeral.
There you go. Wow.
So we have a connection with Ray-Jean Houle.
There you go. And, like I say, like a lot of these, my grandmother's relatives came down from up north there, lived in Sudbury, Cobalt, all kinds of places, and Quebec. And they would come down and they would stay at our house. And he could have been one of the ones that stayed at my house. I don't know. I can't. I was just a kid. I mean, we're talking about in the 50s. And he would have been just a kid as well, right? So,
crazy.
Now, McNeil benched the Pocket Rocket in this series. Pocket Rocket called him incompetent publicly. He said he's incompetent. There were death threats made towards McNeil for his benching the pocket rocket, and they were taken seriously. There was a revolt during this series season amongst the players for benching the pocket rocket, and it got pretty ugly in Montreal. After the Stanley Cup win, McNeil and Richard hugged, but that didn't patch up the differences. They were happy to win the cup, but pocket rocket still wasn't impressed with them. McNeil, under the microscope and controversy, resigned in June just after the cup win and went back to the Nova Scotia Voyageurs, the Habs farm team out east, as GM and coach, and won the Calder Cup that year.
So I think, McNeil actually did it. I mean, he helped out. He came in and helped out.
Yes.
I don't think he probably even wanted to do it.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't think that was his aspiration. And I think, the pressure in Montreal, right? The big city. It is like the big deal. Like there's no bigger place to play hockey than in Montreal.
Well, I'd say that if you bench the pocket rocket and you're getting death threats, that's pretty intense.
So your wife might be saying, "Hey, you know what? I bet I bet that the wife and the kids stayed in Nova Scotia to finish off the school year, and it was like, come back, baby."
Yeah, let's go where it's calmer.
Exactly. We're not like, we got a house here. Come back, baby. Let's go, because again, you don't know how long you're going to be in Montreal.
True enough.
Because if you don't succeed, you're gone.
Well, he did several stints.
Did you hear that, MSL?
Yeah. That year he won the Calder Cup. He also won the A.R. Pierre Award as the most outstanding coach. He came back and did several stints in the NHL with the Atlanta Flames, who moved to Calgary in the 1980-81 season. Although the pocket rocket didn't like him for the benching, the guy proved to be a pretty damn good coach and won awards to honor that. He died just this year on January the 5th at the age of 89.
Yeah, and remember too, so, he goes to Atlanta in the 80s, but at that point, that's 10 years after his tenure, and the kids at that point are probably in college.
Yeah, probably.
So now it's like, okay, let's move. We can move now. They've had their schooling. They hung out with all their friends. Now we can go.
The pocket rocket's retired. I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Now we can go. But obviously, he knew what he was doing, winning all those championships.
Yeah, well, he was a darn good coach.
And he made a great move if he took the Canadians from a losing season to winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, that is a heck of a move.
And to have the Cajones to make Ken Dryden the starting goalie.
And Reggie Ewell, a rookie to shadow Bobby Hull.
Just like amazing.
Amazing. So, past week with the Habs, Nick Suzuki's wedding. We talked about that a little bit.
Nick Suzuki's wedding.
Just a fantastic event.
How many
whole team effort.
How many people were at? So Nick Suzuki got married on June the 9th in Turks and Caicos.
Yes, and they just had
a huge party in Montreal.
Yeah, yeah, the reception.
Which
he got married June 9th.
Yeah, which was like fantastic, and like everybody was there, right? Like it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, everybody.
I mean, you needed a program.
You should have a HABS program. That's right. Who's number 9? They should have wore their numbers.
I mean, it was like just crazy. Cole Caulfield, Carey Price, Jeff Molson, Jeff Petrie and Jake Allen, Patrick Laine, Blaine Hudson, Ivan Demidov, Philip Deneau.
Oh, that was nice to see Phil Deneau back.
Chris Weidman and Yuri Slavkovsky, Brendan Gallagher, Tyler Toffoli, and who knows how many others.
Well, Jake Allen was one of them too.
Yeah, like just through the roof.
It's crazy, huh? What a team! What a team! They love each other. These guys, they really do.
Through the roof.
And speaking of love, an interesting story about our buddy Patrick Laine and Demidov. Apparently, they are starting to have major chemistry on the ice.
Nice.
And off the ice. And this is something
they're both married.
Yeah. This is something I think Laine definitely needs. I mean, when they're starting to hang around off the ice, that's a really good sign. The older guy who's been through the NHL and scored the goals and everything, and the younger guy is going to be Rookie of the Year this year. and they're hitting it off big time, and they just happen to be on the same line. Now, I'm looking at it like this: could Laine's 5-on-5 play been directly pointing to the fact that he really had nobody at his skill level to play with? I mean, Newhook and whoever else they put on that line because Doc was out. I mean, who do you really have to play with? And we know when he plays with good players, he can score because he did it on the power play, playing with our best players. I'm wondering if this little union with Demidov is going to change Laine's play this year. He's got somebody with his talent to play with now. You throw a decent center in there, Bolduc or somebody. This could change Laine's whole career, and I love that he's hanging around Demidov off the ice. They're hanging out. They're having a good time. They got chemistry on the ice. Does it get better than this?
Well, it's great when you have your players getting along with each other, number one. Number two, both these players are very offensive-minded, okay? So they'll both want the puck, you know? That's a big thing to consider as well. So whoever they play with has to be ready to go and get the puck for them and give them the puck. And so, but if you have two offensive guys like a Beliveau and a Richard, and they know each other, and they throw the puck back and forth, and they're not afraid to let the other one, score a goal, then you have some chemistry.
Yeah, I think Demidov is as good a playmaker as he is a goal scorer. I think he's got that vision that, he's just got high hockey IQ. I think these two together, and if they get along like this,
consider last year. Patrick Laine came to Montreal, and nobody even expected him to be there.
No.
Okay? Then he had to go through justifying his existence. I've been struggling with some mental issues. I'm glad to be here, and I have to start over. And he had a very slow start because I think, the first or second exhibition game against the Leafs, he blew his knee out.
Yeah, he got injured, and he was out till December.
So he lost a lot of time with the team, even the bonding experience of being with the team as he was recuperating, okay? And then when he got back to the team, immediately was like, well, where are we going to fit him? Well, we know he can score goals, so he's got a shot and a half. We'll put him on the power play. And he fit very well with the BP. But he really, I don't ever think, got back into NHL playing shape. So now the key with Demidov, as we know Demidov's a great skater, that they spend a lot of time on the ice together right now and get their blades together. And that Demidov will challenge Laine to keep up with him. And that they both play a two-way game. And if we have that going on a second line, we have the first line intact the way it is, who we know play excellent together 5-on-5, we got two amazing lines.
Yeah, well, we thought that last year with Laine on the second line, and we're going to hook him up with Doc and Newhook or Anderson or whoever we put on that second line with them. But it never panned out. Once Doc was out of the mix, then it kind of screwed that second line up that we thought might be as good as the first line. Well, this year, there's no question about it. Demidov's there, Laine's there. All we need is a center, and we've got a second line that could rival the first line.
Absolutely. And here's the other thing is, last year we had a defenseman named Lane Hudson who helped that first line be offensive-minded by getting the puck out of the D zone quickly into the O zone. Well, now we got another guy named Dobson. So both lines should have that equal opportunity of having those offensive-minded defensemen moving the puck out quickly from the D zone into transition to the O zone into scoring opportunities. That is huge.
Yeah, so
could change the game dramatically for this team.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the second line now. We know what our first line does. I'm not worried about that.
Like for me, it's
the second line.
Can you imagine though, like having like that, like if you're getting 2 goals a game from your first line, and you're getting now 2 goals a game from your second line, they're almost like interchangeable, but then now if you can like average 3.5 goals a game or whatever, increase, the goals against up for you, then you're in a different position than you were last year.
Oh yeah.
It's going to change the win-lose category. I can't wait to have a more offensive team. We've played many years very defensively. Guy like Carey Price trying to keep the puck out of the net or only allow one goal to give us an opportunity to tie a game or win. Now, to have an offense who are going to win the game regardless of what is going on sometimes defensively would be amazing.
Yeah, and never mind that. What is our power play going to look like? This is crazy because we've got guys that our first and second power play lines are going to be powerhouses. We got 4 defensemen with Matheson, Lane Hudson, Gooley, with Dobson.
But even if you use Matheson, Dobson, and Hudson as 3 defensemen for power play, okay? And then you've got guys like Demidov who can roll off the second line, or Lane to roll off the second line, playing with the first line. Scary.
It's scary.
Scary.
It is. And sometimes they might even go with 1 defenseman, Hudson, and 4 forwards.
And that's what I'm saying. So you bring Demidov up, Hudson, and the first line.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, our power play this year is going to be deadly. It was deadly towards the end of last year. It's going to be deadlier this year.
Let's hope so. Here's the big key. Here's the other thing that we are missing, and that I'm sure people are working on right now, and that is face-off possession.
That's a big thing. Suzuki's all right. We lost Dvorak, and they're teaching Bolduc how to be a center, to face-offs. They're working with him, that Barreau guy, Mark Barreau, I think the guy's name is. He's working with Dobson, or Bolduc, I should say, on the center position. So they think he can do it.
And that's where, where maybe a straightforward comes in, a guy like an Owen Beck, if he makes the team.
Yeah.
And he's pretty good at taking faceoffs, could contribute to being that 4th line center who also comes out and is the guy who takes the puck at the PK. And if we go into overtime, is on the ice at the beginning of OT to grab the puck. Yeah,
because Owen Beck is being lined up for this too. So that's right. I forgot all about him.
It's very important to get those faceoffs.
Have you seen any of the 3-on-3 videos?
I haven't watched any of the videos. I knew they were playing, but and I think it's great that they are. It's got to be a lot of fun.
Oh, Laine and Demidov are just they're just amazing. Laine especially, he's dangling these guys and dirty dangling everybody. I'm telling you, he looks like he's rejuvenated. And Demidov's doing the same thing. He's just crazy good.
I got to believe he's in probably the best physical shape he's been in 3-4 years. Because when he was struggling mentally, he definitely wasn't working out properly. Okay? When he got back to Montreal, he started to work out, and then he got devastated mentally as well as physically by that knee injury. Because it was like something else again, like bad luck, who am I? What's wrong? And now he's had a pretty good year. They made the cup. The bonding experiences are there. I mean, guys are getting along from, different countries, which is fabulous. All the, there's no boundaries. Everything is broken down. It's like, let's do it. So I think this is probably the best space physically Patrick Laine has been in 3 years.
No, I think him getting married is going to make a big difference. He's got, real support from his wife. And, he's every night I heard she whispers to him, 5-on-5, 5-on-5. You must score goals, 5-on-5.
As long as she's not whispering 5-on-1.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
So I wrote her a letter. I wrote her a letter telling her an email telling her when he's sleeping, just keep whispering in his ear, 5-on-5. but don't screw up his power play. So anyway, I hope he's just has a. What I'm getting at is I hope he has a really good state of mental health this year, and he stays healthy, and he's got this relationship going with Demidov, this chemistry, and he feels like he's rejuvenated. This is rejuvenation year for him, because I'd love to see him go crazy and us sign him to another contract and keep him.
I want to see him.
That would be great.
Be the player that he
He
was drafted second overall. I want to see him be that player.
Yeah, I want to see him battling Matthews, like we said.
I want to see him be that player. I want to see him like tearing it up. I want to see him winning the Rocket Richard Trophy.
Yeah, that'd be great. Rocket Richard for Line A. The Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year.
Demidov.
Demidov. And we're going to go right on from there. Then there's going to be another cup about this big we're going to be hauling around the ice at the end of the middle of June, maybe.
I can't wait. I can't wait to go to Montreal for the Stanley Cup.
No, it's going to be great.
I can't wait.
But we can't wait. We're old. we got
Get moving. Get moving.
Yeah, the Habs got to save us here. We only got so many years to enjoy this.
It's not like a Toronto Maple Leaf situation. Okay, let's keep.
Well, I wouldn't even
make
worry
that
about
clear.
It.
We are going to win the cup. So it's not a false situation.
No, Habs are going to be the next Canadian team to hoist the cup. That's the way it is.
We don't have T-shirts that say, can you win the cup before we die? We don't have that.
No, we don't have that.
We don't have that.
We know we're gonna.
Exactly.
Right? So we're the next 2 or 3 years, Habs fans. Don't worry. Help is on the way. We're going to win this cup in the next 2 or 3 years.
It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see the goals.
So it is written.
I can't wait to see the saves.
So it is written, so it shall be done.
It's just like, seeing the Pocket Rocket come back and doing what he did, at the end of 71. I can still see Dryden kicking out his pad, stopping Jim Pappin like cold. Just solidly cold. You can see Don Cherry running up off the bench crying.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's great.
Still crying.
Yeah.
He's still crying. Anyway, anything else, John?
No, I think that sums it up. What a great week. And it keeps getting better and better. And again, the season, it's like October 15th. Is that the first game? 13th, I think?
It's a 8th.
It's Wednesday, right?
I think it's the 8th.
That early, that's great.
Yeah, I think it starts on the 6th. It opens, and then we start on the 8th against Toronto Make Believes.
So,
and I want to win that first game. That's the
October the 8th is the Wednesday.
Yes.
September 1 month.
October the 8th at the Leafs.
We're only like 2 months away.
Yeah.
2 months away.
Who's number 60?
Like 9 weeks, right? Who's number 53?
Yeah, that's me. We're 60 days away or something.
Number 53 is Dobson, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Is that you going to take 53?
I think he's taking 53.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. My alma mater. I might have to get one of those sweaters.
Exactly. You might have a Dobson sweater.
Anyway, you guys, my name is Paul Calamere.
Je suis Jean-Louis Filion. Merci beaucoup, mes amis.
We are HABSOLUTELY coming to you live. And if you don't believe it, look back there. There's a sign that says so. We're coming to you live from the studios of 4680Q in beautiful Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Tune in every Wednesday at noon live on 4680q.com.
Like us.
You can catch the video. And I always drop it by about 3 o'clock. It's on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Truth Social. Hey, check out the video. Like us.
Leave
subscribe,
comments.
Leave comments.
Donald, we're waiting for you to leave a comment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to hear from Liney's wife.
I bet you do.
I want to hear from Liney's wife telling me she's whispering in his ear at night. 5-on-5. A2. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next week. Promises made, promises kept on HABSOLUTELY. God bless you all. Have a great day.